Hey YouTube. So today I'm finally getting around to installing the Burton Coil plug system on my LS VTEC. It requires a harness, which he supplied, and coil on plug. I believe this was the K20, but don't quote me, I could check that. Yes, it's the K20 coil on plug that gets used on that. I did buy the adapter plate for the coil on plug system. I don't have the cap rotor cover, but I will source that. I'm just trying to make sure I don't buy the wrong one. But it's pretty straightforward. I sent it in to him to modify and do all the installation on the P28 that I had with Hondata, and it's good to go. I actually could run the car right now, so if you needed to switch back, obviously you can, because I could start it up just as is without doing the install on this. So that's kind of a plus, honestly. It's no major crazy configuration swap to get it back to if you wanted to go backwards, which is not likely. So I'm gonna get started on this, and I want to just start it, show you that it runs the way it is at the moment. I didn't mention, to go over here to the table, when you switch from distributor, you have to switch to the iridium. It's got a resistor in the plug for the coil on plug conversion. So here's what I'll need today. This is the plate that holds down the coil packs. Probably need some 10 millimeters, so I need to get those. The harness, the K20 coil plugs, filler gauge to gap the spark plugs, which I'm going to research. I think 25,000 is where I'm going to start, but I'm going to check my current plugs, see where they're at. Just the instructions, and it comes with a couple of pieces of shrink wrap. One goes to ground, lower side of the distributor, and then D-pin off of the OBD2 connector, and plug those in and heat shrink them on. So it should be pretty straightforward. I didn't remove the spark plug wires and spark plugs. Now I had a little bit of oil in one of these. Actually might be all of these. Down on the bottom. Now just looks like just these two. There's a little bit of oil that I can see down on the bottom. Just probably because the seals are leaking. I haven't changed that out in a while. This engine's been built for since 2006, I believe. And check this gap too, because these plugs lasted forever. I know these are non-resistor, but just to see where I was at, because these seemed like very tight gap. You could see that. It's a pretty tight gap. So I know I'm getting a misfire, and these are, hold on, let me see what these are V-Power 8. Ooh, hot. Come on, baby, focus. power 8s. This is what, number 4. So see how these look. Pull them all out. So I haven't changed them in a while. It's my bad, but I was breaking up on boost at about, I think it makes 17 pounds on wastegate spring. It was breaking up pretty bad. Look how wet that is. So this one might be fouled out. This is probably where my misfire was coming. But there's also oil on this one. Same situation. Very wet. Super wet also. We'll check this gap. It's got to be pretty tight. Looks like this one, 17, 18 won't fit, but 17 slides in fairly easy. I'll double check another one. But yeah, well, 18 fits too. So this car does make 693 to the wheels, so it looks like 18. So I'll probably stick with 18 because don't want the plug to burn out the spark. Sorry, the engine to blow out spark. Now the right way would be to pull the valve cover, go ahead and reseal everything, but I'll have to order, I'll probably order new seals anyway. So put new RTV around the seals and to the head so I can eliminate this oil getting in, because that's probably where it's definitely coming from. You can see it seeping in. So I'll fix that down the road. So hard to get that on there. There you go. So it's a 19. And I already did all 4. So I'll be putting those in right now. Oh, this, just to give you a part number, these are the BK, where are they at? BKRE, or sorry, BKR8 EIX. So I got the coil plate and the coils mounted. I went ahead and used stainless steel 10 millimeter with a washer and a lock washer so that they don't back out over time. Being that this engine has solid mounts, I've had spark plug wires jump off, and I've ruined ignition coils like that. So I just want to make sure that they stay put, just safety precautions. One thing I'm not aware of is, do you just leave that nut on and then mount this over? It doesn't seem to fit correctly when I set it in there and push it down. It barely feels like it's contacting to the spark plug. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these 4 and push it down, see how it engages like that. This is the street raise bracket. Yeah, that's definitely how you do it. So you pull it and then put those 10 millimeter nuts back on. I just wasn't able to find the information online. Maybe I didn't do a great search. But let me change this up there. Look at this engine. snuggies. Probably use about 72 inch pounds. So make sure everything's lined up. Go over this. Just a little bit. See, on this little cutout. Guess that might work. I'll wait over. Should be good to go. Don't want to put it too tight. Strip them. They're little nuts. So to save you some hassle, don't do a mistake I did. So I'm guessing you have to put these two in separately because trying to get the harness on, it's right in the way of the mounting bolts on number 1 and number 3. So just save your butt on that. Just make sure you I guess get the harness plugged in before you mount it. Probably give you better room, but shoot, it might even be hard to do that. So maybe mount your plate first and then put the coils on right after with the harness in place. Well, crisis averted. So that did work out. So I only did 1 and 3, just pulled them and twisted them, didn't take them out. So now I'll just route this, and I'm gonna go ahead and feed it through the firewall so it's out of the way. It says I need to depin on the harness side the black and signal wire, which is, it looks blue, it's just so dark in here. Here's the big boy. Here's the littler one. So separate those so I can heat shrink them together with the supplied heat shrink. So off the harness, the 3 wires that are left, the eyelid is the ground, and he recommends to put it on the bottom of the distributor or back side of the distributor. And then you have a thin wire, that's your signal, and you have a thicker wire which goes to the thick wire right here. So I will put, don't forget to put your heat shrink on, of course, and connect those two. And wow, this one's a little bit tighter. The spade is too tight. I'm gonna have to trim it. That's weird. Thought they slid right in. Both of these are tighter. I'm guessing that there's a different year, or this harness maybe. So I'm gonna have to trim both these spades down to fit. These are better spades than the other one. Test that out. Well, so big is with big. Nope, a little bit more. You can see. Can't zoom in that far, I'm guessing. So, trim a little off the opposite side. And on that one. Next, same thing. Precision between identical. And man, like butter, put the heat shrink on. So let's see. So like I said, these spades were way too big for these pins. It's hard to see, but they should be good to go. So I'll show you the harness side. See how tiny those are? I just try to match those. We're good to go. So I got heat shrink these, put the round on that bottom bolt. It's where he recommended, just right there. And I'm gonna actually, while I'm doing all this stuff, connect my 4-port Mac valve. Try to position them where I need them so that they stay together. So those 2 wires, thick goes with thick. That signal blue wire goes to that thin wire, and then now we need to ground this bad boy out and put the plug back on that one. And we should be in business. Got the ground strapped right there. Lower front, I guess. And the last thing we have to do, let's get in here. I haven't put my ECU back up, but he gives you plenty of wire, as you see right here, for the lead going to the ECU. It goes past the back door, and I got a 4-door. So I'll take this tape off because I covered it while I was passing it through the firewall. So I'm gonna coil this up, and here's where he has it. I'm gonna see how I situate this. Guess it goes like that. And see that prong? That's where this, but for now, we'll go ahead and plug and play this just to test it. Which way does it go? Like this. Alright. Hondata's on this. So it's all together. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do the boost control wire, or sorry, the 4-port wire, and then I'll be ready to start her. Everything is connected now, and boost 4-port is connected also. So let's see how well she runs. See if we get it right. have to plug in the distributor. My bad. All right. Full cold start, the engine is still warm, but sounds good. Cleaner, crisp. I can totally tell the difference. Real quick before my batteries die, I've installed an extra set of lights across the way. Just moving stuff around, musical boxes in here, but I'm getting it tightened up so be able to play in here a little bit better. But I'm excited.